So the Crescent Grange Hall number 512 is located in Linwood Township, which is the northeastern corner of Anoka County. So the Crescent Grange number 512 was the 512th local Grange organization founded in the state of Minnesota. We don't know why they chose to call themselves the Crescent Grange, but it must have been meaningful to the members who were forming it in Linwood in 1874, which is when the group itself organized. Now, they didn't have a building at first. They met in the homes of different members in local churches for many years. So it was built by the members of the 512 group. And they made that decision in early 1881 at one of their meetings that they wanted a building of their own. Having been meeting in member homes and local churches for several years, they decided it was time. They wanted a space for themselves. So in March that year, they went out and cut down a bunch of pine trees from a local forest, and they took them up to a sawmill that was located on Typo Lake, which is just north of the area where the Grange Hall is. And I believe the sawmill was owned by one of the members, and had the trees cut into lumber. And then over the summer of 1881, they began construction on the building. They paused over the winter and then finished the bulk of the construction in the warmer weather in 1882. And so they built it themselves, and we actually have documentation that members who didn't show up regularly to help with the construction were actually fined $1 each time they'd gone too long without coming to help. So it was very much a group effort that they did themselves. They didn't have other people come in to build it for them. And they had an opening ceremony on July 4th in 1882. There was some continuing improvements they made to the building up through 1884, but the bulk of the construction was done in 1882. So in the early years, these would have been all local farmers, people who had farms in Linwood Township, perhaps occasionally other related businesses like the sawmill. And they were coming together in the spirit of the National Grange movement to know their friends and neighbors, to have a monthly meeting where they could talk to each other. They talked educational topics a lot of the time at those meetings, helping each other to learn new agricultural techniques or learn about new equipment or technology that was being developed during that time. And they did other things too. They sort of worked together cooperatively in an economic sense. So they would have held different events at the Grange Hall. Certainly they had monthly meetings that we're aware of, but there's also records indicating that they held New Year's parties and Christmas parties and suppers at the Grange Hall as well. It also was open for community use, so we believe that there were weddings held there, 4-H meetings once the 4-H organization got started, and other things like that. If the community needed a larger space in which to have an event, the Grange Hall was often available for use.
The preceding program was produced by the Anoka County Historical Society and Hennepin Technical College. You can plan a visit to the Anoka County History Center at 2135 3rd Avenue North in downtown Anoka. Help us preserve history. If you would like to donate or become a member of the Anoka County Historical Society, go to anokacountyhistory.org.